Hey guys, what's up? It's Colton, Lindsay here with Financial Freedom Nation coming at you in the Jumpstart program. Here we are, week 8, talking about how do you accelerate, how do you move forward, how do you get going to the next level quickly. And as you guys pop onto this, make sure to put in the comments below where you're from so we know where the Fearless Agent Nation is growing from. So appreciate you being here and give me some reactions every step of the way, and make sure you hit that like button. I'm super stoked about tonight because this is the week that we get to wrap it all together. We get to bring in the last 7 weeks and we get to bring it together and so that you can continue to move forward into advancing your financial freedom. And I want to remind you guys this, when I started with financial freedom, the idea of becoming financially free, let me remind you what that definition is. It's where your passive and residual income pays for your desired lifestyle. And as we get going into this, I know we've asked this in previous weeks, but put in the comments below, what is your monthly number? Is it 3,000? Is it 5,000? Is it 20,000? Is it 50,000? And what's cool is I just want you to get that starting number. Okay, what's the number right now that if you had every single month, it would just create financial freedom? It would just alleviate that stress of money, and it would create some clarity and some refreshing feelings moving forward. I want you to put that in the comments below. It's funny because when I first started that number, for me it was simply if I could hit $80,000 a year. Okay, and I don't remember what that number is per month now, but now I'm at nearing $200,000 in annual. I think last month in June was a new high that I had hit at the time of this video. So if you're watching this recorded, it's probably higher now, but at that time, just off of passive, this does not count any of the residuals, is $16,000 per month. My residuals right now are nearing probably close to $30,000 a month, right? So I didn't even think that was possible when I first started this. I started it simply if I could hit that, that $6,000 a month mark, that $5,000 a month mark every single month coming in on a passive and residual stream, that I would be set. Now, what's cool is I hit that point and I blew by that point. So what I want you to do is to get that starting number. I want you to write it all over. Put it up on your bathroom mirror, put it on a piece of paper in your car, put it on your cell phone. Make sure you can see it and write it in your targets. I have X amount of dollars coming in through financial freedom every single month. I have, right now, the number that I'm writing as far as my monthly income is I earn $250,000 a month, okay? And last month in June, at the time of this video, so this is July 2017, was the time that I hit my highest up to this point, which was $146,700 in total revenue in just 1 month's time, which it goes to expand more and more on what is possible to create into our life. Okay, so real quick, I just want to get going on this. If you guys are excited, how many of you guys are excited to finish up week 8 so you can get it all wrapped together and make sure you can continue to keep growing to a next level? Give me a bunch of reactions if you're excited for that. We're going to go over and review tonight the financial freedom system. So we're going to go over what we've talked about the last 7 weeks so that we're extremely clear on the percentages, on the dollar amounts, and what each account is for. So we're going to go over that real quickly. Tonight, also, we're going to go to the 2 parts, okay? I'm excited about this because there's 2 parts in order for us to create financial freedom. Number 1, to create it. Number 2 is to scale it, okay? So number 1 is we get that number, whatever it is. I see 10K up on the screen. I say 15K. I've seen 5K. So whatever that number is, okay, there's 2 parts to create that, and then to 10X to grow it, whether it's 2X, 3X, 4X, 5X, or 10X that number, whatever you want to do, there's 2 parts to make this happen. And we're going to go over that in detail tonight so you get really, really clear on what those 2 items are, that if you focus on those 2 items, you will be able to exponentially grow your financial freedom. So put yes in the comments if you're excited about that. Also, we're going to go over some action items. And I'm really excited because today's action item, I actually have a book for you guys to read. And this book's going to be a little bit different. In fact, you're going to read it and you're going to be like, at first you might even see it, you'll be like, what the hell, Colton? This book has nothing to do with money or techniques or anything at all, but it has so much to do with one part of these 2 parts into creating your financial freedom, okay? How many of you noticed that you got this little voice going on inside of your head, right? And you might have just said, well, Colton, what voice is that? Well, that's the voice I'm talking about. You're constantly having this conversation inside of your head. We all do it. I am guilty of having this conversation as much as the next person. Now, for the longest time, as I studied personal development, financial development, business growth, I thought that I could out-negotiate or out-converse this voice in my head. In fact, you know, this little devil that sits on your shoulders. How many of you guys know what I'm talking about? This little devil right here on your shoulder, right? And he's called doubt, he's called worry, he's called fear, he's called overwhelmment, he's called, you know, all of these negative energies. He's just putting these little whispers in your ear, right? And I, for the longest time, felt that I had to get this little guy over here, the little angel, the positive guy, to out-negotiate, to outweigh the negative energy, to bring in the positive. And the reality is, yeah, as Lisa said on here, the drunk monkey you might hear, as it called, right? Well, I'm going to expose a big truth tonight, and really this book that's going to be part of your action items tonight. It's going to expose the reality about both of these voices. It's going to blow it out of the water so that you can get rid of the voices, and not that they're going to go away forever, but you're going to be aware of them, okay? And you're going to be able to take a step back, and you're going to be able to, like, open, like, I imagine the Red Sea just parting, okay? And you're going to be able to step into your reality and just create whatever it is you want. So I'm going to obviously, over these last 7 weeks, and wrapping it up today and moving forward with the Financial Freedom Accelerated Coaching Program, I'm going to teach you some really serious 3D real-world techniques, just like lowering your tax bill, managing your cash flow like these. I'm going to teach you those, but also I'm going to teach and share with you on a whole nother level what financial freedom is. Financial freedom on the technical, physical world definition is your passive and residual income. Pay for your desired lifestyle. Put yes in the comments if you're okay to get that, if you want that, okay? But on the inner world side, the definition of financial freedom is you literally can take whatever you want from up here in the idea and creating it with here and printing it off in the 3-dimension reality. You can create whatever it is you want. And what I hope that you guys get from this course, if you never get anything else from me, is that all 3-dimension is created. All reality is created from your mind, from your heart, and what you manifest into reality. And this drunk little monkey, this little voices that are going on inside your head, currently are what's creating your reality. And the truth is once you can step back and just become aware that the voices are there, now you can create whatever you want on an exponential level. Cool? And then the last thing is I want to share with you guys the opportunity. Some of you guys have already taken action on the opportunity, but I want to share with you on a deeper level what this opportunity is so that you know to move forward with that. So let's look at our commitments first of all. When we first started the Financial Freedom Jumpstart course, I know it was 8 weeks ago when we first got into this, you guys filled out an application and you committed to these commitments right here. Now, is it any wonder that we have nearly 100 people in the program, but yet people are falling off? I'm just speaking real for a second. People have not held to these commitments. And there is a core value that I developed about 12, 13 years ago that goes something like this. Do what you say you're going to do, sometimes more, but never less, right? These commitments, I just want to commend you. If you've made it this far into the program and you're still doing the action items and you're still moving forward, congratulate yourself. Give yourselves a bunch of thumbs up, a bunch of hearts, because you took action on doing what you said you're going to do. And the results have paid big time for several of you. Paying off credit cards, buying investment properties, going on vacations, reducing your monthly expenses. Like, these are huge things to celebrate. It's just the beginning of what's possible with your financial freedom. I remember when I first started having these ahas and these celebrations and these wins, I was stoked. I didn't know what awaited me in the future though with financial freedom. Like, I would have never imagined $150,000 months rolling in when I first started managing my money. See, here's what's so cool. When you learn to really manage your money, money just attracts you. It just finds you. How many of you would like money just to naturally find you? I'm talking like $5,000, $20,000 just to find the way into your bank account. Would you be okay with that? Put yes in the comments if that's you. Because now there's not an exact science or specific formula to make that happen. There is an inner world journey that you can go through that will manifest it and it will create it. I can promise you that because I'm living proof right now. Okay? So let's review those commitments. Number one, participate. You must participate on a high level in everything you do. Level 10, participation looks like putting comments in the comments section below, hitting that like button, and doing a lot of question and asking inside of the Facebook group. Number two is to watch these videos twice every single week, okay? Because you're going to be in a little bit different perception, a little bit different angle to be able to see and hear and feel and notice things you didn't understand or get or pay attention to the first time, okay? And then share your ahas. Make sure to share your ahas. And those that are sharing constantly, I'm super excited and I'm thankful for you guys that are participating on a high level with sharing your ahas, because it motivates other people to get going. And there are several levels, and we teach this in the Accelerated program, but there are 4 different levels of learning and growing and understanding information as we process it. One of those ways is the ability to teach and to share and to get it out to other people. Just by sharing your aha, you're actually becoming a teacher. You're teaching other people that it is possible to gain success and to create success and to get results in your life. So that's one of the things we talk about in the Accelerated program. And then the last thing is, which is probably the most important, even when you feel overwhelmed, especially when you feel overwhelmed or when you feel doubt or when you feel worried or when you feel like I've got nothing left in me, I can't do it, I just don't know what to do, that's when you act. That's when you take action. Now, I've shared this with you before. When we have frustration, when we have overwhelm, when we have that fear that roadblocks us, like that the irritation feeling or the frustrated feeling where you're just overwhelmed and your head's ready to explode and you don't know which way to go, that's when you act. When you take action, you blow through. And we're going to talk about this tonight in one of the 2 parts, okay? You blow through to the next level. You expand your comfort zone and you're able to grow even more. The other option is that you retreat. You go backwards. And that's what most people do. In fact, when we first started this, we know that 90% of you did not have any management, cash flow management in place when you started, okay? It's because typically the natural response was when you were faced with adversity in your finances, you retreated. You went back to what you knew was normal and habitual and safe. And so when you felt that overwhelming feeling, instead of pressing forward with massive action, you went backwards and you went to that safe zone. So I want to get really clear on you guys tonight about how massive action will push you even forward, and that was one of your commitments. So those of you guys that have taken massive action, which I know several of you on here right now have, because I've heard and I've seen your results, so give yourselves a yes in the comments and give yourself some remarks for taking some massive action. So let's hop in to tonight. I gotta go back to my page now. So tonight's is first part is we're gonna go into this review. Okay. Now I made a note here, so I want to pull it up real quick, because as you know, every week we talk about a purpose, okay? And the purpose of the financial freedom system, okay? The financial freedom system, just so we're clear, is the 7 different accounts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, okay? That's the system. That's the outer world, okay? I want you to write that down, put in the comments, outer world, because we're going to get even more clear on that here in just a little bit. But that's an outer world 3D physical technique that you can follow, okay? Now that's part of what creates financial freedom, and it's what helps grow it forward, okay? But I can promise you this, if you don't have the other part that we're going to talk about in a little bit, this system will not work, okay? And I want to give you a little bit of a hint. You must believe in yourself. Write that. Believe in myself in the comments below. That's really, really important, okay? Now what this does is the system allows you to actually begin to believe in yourself and believe in new possibilities. How many of you right now, whether watching live or recorded, have actually noticed that you're starting to believe in yourself a little bit more when it comes to mastering, managing, and growing your financial wealth? Put yes in the comments below if that's you. And even share in the comments maybe an experience that you're gaining from learning the financial freedom system, okay? So here's what I wanted to share with you guys. Oh, I just lost it. Locked up on me. Give me 1 second. Here we are. So I write down a purpose every single week. How many of you have noticed that? As I always share a purpose of the account, okay? So I want to get back to reminding you and sharing you what the purpose is of the financial freedom system, okay? So the purpose is to filter. So I want you to imagine this system, all 7 accounts. Think of it as a filter. Think of it as when you have water go into a filter and it comes out, it filters water in a certain formula, right? This is the filter of cash, okay? So it's to filter the cash flow so that you control your financial destiny, Okay? So recently I had a conversation with a good friend of mine, Joshua Smith. You might know him with GSD Mode. Okay? He's got a great real estate training company, very successful with his real estate sales business. Okay? Yes, another word is funnel, a way to funnel your money, your cash flow. Great point. Thank you, Melanie. So what I was talking to him about is he shared something with me that he put into words that I knew in my mind, but I wasn't able to speak into words. And I want to share the words that he spoke about. He says, for some reason, and this completely resonates with your financial world, we believe as humans that in the future, our future self is some sort of superhuman, like we have superpowers, that in the future, we're going to be able to improve our financial situation. Okay? We believe that we're kind of kicking the can down the road, and that when we get to a certain point, then we'll start learning and growing and moving and changing and becoming financially free. However, the reality is that it starts right now. When is the time? Put now in the comments. Right now is the time to become that superpower, to gain that superhuman skill set. Because what we do today with our thoughts, with our words, with our emotions, is what manifests our reality going forward. So if we're always waiting for the next thing or in the future to start dominating our financial world, what do you think the odds are that we're actually going to make a change in the future? Well, you might have guessed it, but it's nearly impossible. In fact, it's going to be harder the longer you wait. Here's what I mean by that. Time, and I've said this so many times to you guys, time is either your best friend or your worst enemy, okay? Because the longer you go postponing financial freedom, the longer you go without applying this in your life, the longer you go without believing in yourself, you actually create the habit opposite. You create a strong force, a strong habit of not doing this. And after 10 years of creating that bad habit, how easy is it to reprogram or unwind that? I want you to imagine smoking cigarettes. Is it easier to quit smoking cigarettes after smoking for a year or after smoking for 30 years? Think about the habit you had to build smoking a cigarette for 30 years. You naturally just crave it and do it and have it. You don't even realize that your fingernails are turning yellow, right? You've got the stuff on your fingers. You don't even realize you probably have a pack of cigarettes everywhere you go, and you've got lighters all around your house, and you don't even notice the smell anymore inside of your house or with your laundry or with your clothes or with inside of your car, everywhere you go. But yet someone that's never smoked a cigarette in a day in their life, they show up at your house and they're like, woof, holy hell, what is that? You all know what I'm talking about. You've been around that person that smokes cigarettes, that smokes like a damn chimney. And it just waves all over you. It's that same thing with lack of creating financial mastery and becoming financially free. Now, to the positive effect, when you get started on this, well, it becomes permanently ingrained into your subconscious mind. It becomes a natural way of living to where these filters, these accounts, they just naturally happen. In fact, you'll feel so bad, like you can't not do it. Like if you change this plan, and when you'll learn this too, as you start to massage this as you go along your freedom path, you'll actually have resistance to making some of the changes, to increasing and improving, because you've ingrained it so much into you. So that's what I want you guys to be able to do. Now is the time, okay? So let's review. First and foremost is your FFA account, your financial freedom account, financial freedom system account, okay? I recommend that you put 10%, okay? Currently, I personally put 15% of my gross revenue into this account. Now, I wanted you to at least pick a number. When we first started this course, clear back at the beginning of the 8 weeks, is I wanted you to pick a number, commit to it, make your first deposit, okay? So I want you to do a new commitment. I want you to raise that account tonight by 1%. I want you to do just 1% more, higher than you're currently committed to for that. Put yes in the comments if you're committed to raise your FFA account by 1%. Now, I probably don't need to explain what the FFA account is again, but I will, just so we're really clear. This is the money that you invest into getting geese that lay the golden eggs. This is the money that creates the passive and residual income. This is how you buy stocks. This is how you buy real estate. This is how you get going with online business opportunities. This is how you get creating a new business opportunity. This is how you buy commodities, silvers. This is how you get money paying you over and over again. Put yes in the comments if you get what I'm talking about, okay? And I'd love to see the commitments by raising that at 1%. Awesome. The next one is your financial freedom education account. Now, I recommend that you do 5 to 10%, somewhere around there. I've had it as high as 10%, I've had it as low as 5%. Currently, I'm at 7% of my gross revenue goes back into my education account. So when I buy a ticket to go to UPW, it's a no-brainer. I just do it. When I buy a ticket to go to Austin for a mastermind in September, I just do it. When I buy a ticket to go to Wizard course in October, I just do it. I got the money there. But what I don't do is when that account is empty, I don't buy education. Here's where people make mistakes with education is we all want to learn. Yes, we must apply as well, but I see so many students, even that have gone through similar trainings as me, is they keep buying education, keep buying education, keep buying education, and they're borrowing from their fun account or their necessities account or the financial freedom system account. They're borrowing from their other accounts just to pay for their education, but they're not growing their education account. So what I want you to do is with your education account is only spend money on your education when you've got actually money in the education account. Cool? And one of the ways that you can start that immediately, if you have committed, like we talked about, you've played full out, you should have some money in your education account. Put yes in your comments below if you've got money in your education account, because I'm going to make it very simple for you guys to continue your education tonight and be able to accelerate your financial freedom. Put the word accelerate in the comments below if you are ready to now accelerate your financial freedom. Okay? Next is your financial freedom savings account, okay? This is what you spend on a couple of different things. You save up for a vacation, a new car, a down payment on a house, something that's kind of a luxury item. You remember we played the luxury item game a while ago on the fun one? It's the same thing, but this is something a little bit bigger. I've spent money on things, trips to Costa Rica, Hawaii, a new Land Rover for my wife, a new house. I've spent a ton of money on this, but this also pays for some other things. It pays for medical bills. It pays for those unexpected flat tires that you weren't planning on, or the unexpected rock chip that pops up into your window, or the unexpected bill that you missed and you've got to catch up on pay. You know what I'm talking about. Life's unexpected. So this pays for two things. It pays for your epic shit that you want to do with your life, but it also pays for the shit that just happens in life. How many of you, by show of putting yes in the comments, have actually had some just random stuff that you were unprepared for that showed up in your life? I know one of our students mentioned that she was going to a wedding in the UK and she misplaced her passports. How many's had some sort of unfortunate event like that happen before? Sucks. It's the worst. And it was such a quick time frame to make it happen. She actually had to expedite her passports, which I don't know the exact details, but I think she mentioned it cost around $2,000 extra to make this happen. Right at that point, the person has a choice: either back out, resist, retreat, like I talked about. When we get a little uncomfortable, we normally resist and go backwards, or we can look at our financial freedom savings account that we set up specifically for this unfortunate opportunity. We call it unfortunate, but it is an opportunity to then say, hey, I've got some money there. I'll pay to expedite my passports because I'm not missing out on this wedding in the UK in a castle. True or true? Like, that's exactly what this account is for. And then what happens is, because we didn't have this account set up in that similar situation, we now have more anxiety. We have more possibility of retreating because we don't want to deal with that uncomfortable space. How many of you been in that uncomfortable space before? Put yes in the comments below. Now, the option is when we've got the money, it's not so uncomfortable to deal with it. Like, I recently had an $800 medical bill for my daughter who shoved a toothbrush through her mouth. I used to freak out about that 5-6 years ago when some sort of medical bill. Now, I'm not stoked about paying a medical bill. True or true? I guarantee our student was not excited to pay an extra $2,000 to go to this trip. It's not like something you're super excited about. However, you can say, it is what it is. Let's do it. Let's move forward. And what that does, what it allows you to do, is remain up in the emotional guidance scale. How many of you remember the emotional guidance scale we talked about a few weeks ago? Put yes in the comments below. These accounts, this three-dimensional system, actually allows you to raise your emotions. I don't know if you're already aware of that. Put yes in the comments if you were already aware of that or you're starting to become aware of that. Next on our list is the giveaway account. Now, there is a simple law of reciprocity. The more you give, the more you receive. You want more money in your life? Give more money. You want more time in your life? Give more time. You want more health in your life? Give more health. You want more love in your life, right? Give more love. Now, here's one that's really important. If you ever felt like you weren't appreciated, like maybe like the world was against you and no one was just like appreciating every awesome thing that you've been doing, how many of you have been there before? Give me a sad face if you can resonate with that, where you just didn't feel appreciated. Well, I want to give you, how many of you want the secret to feeling more appreciated? Go appreciate more people. Go give more appreciation to other people. The more you give appreciation, the more you're going to receive appreciation. It's the reality of it. And I don't think there's anyone, whether watching live or recorded on this training, that has never had that feeling of just being underappreciated. We all go through that. In fact, I would dare say that every human being that has walked this planet has felt like they're not good enough, or they're not valued, or they're not appreciated. Right? So if you want to feel good enough, if you want to feel loved, if you want to feel appreciated, go love more, go serve more, go give more, go be more for others. And when you do that, it will blow your mind on how the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, takes care of you on a whole nother level. Okay? So the giveaway, and it's easy to forget, by the way. Some of us, because the three most dangerous words in the English language are, I know that, right? Put that in the comments. I know that. They're dangerous. How many times have we said, we know that, yet we still feel underappreciated? I know that I need to go give more, but yet I'm still going to go watch America's Got Talent versus go serving someone. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's time to just take action. That's why massive action is so important. So 5%, this goes to charities. It goes to buying food for if you take your family out to dinner. It goes for if you want to, like we do a Christmas fundraiser every single year for the WGR Give Project. We gave 110 people Christmas last year. It goes towards that. Currently we're doing school supplies for 30 kids, and actually school clothes for 30 kids here in our local community. Average cost per kid is $150, so total estimate for 30 kids is about $5,000 to be able to get school clothes for them. Comes from this giveaway, and I will actually, inside of the accelerator program, teach you how you can use your giveaway and your core contacts to be able to raise more money and serve more people. Cool? That's how we were able to serve so many people for Christmas, is because I paid for half of it and I raised the other half by my donations, by saying, hey, any dollar you donate, I'll personally match it up to $4,000. And we were able to raise actually $4,500, which gave us $8,500 to give Christmas last year, right? So it doesn't matter where the money comes from at the end of the day. Your money is just something that you've designated through the plan to be able to give back. You've already committed to giving that back to the community in some sort of way, whether it's a family member, a friend, someone that needs help, or an actual individual that you've never met. Right? But it's the whole project that you create. It's the whole like feeling and energy around serving others that takes it to a next level, and it enrolls other people. And that's the purpose. I mean, if we want more peace on earth, we've got to enroll other people in this idea of serving other people. True or true? Okay? Fun account. How many of you guys had some fun in the fun account week, where for the whole week we played the luxury spending game, right? You guys spent $1,000 a day and added to that every single day. I saw some people buying hot tubs, buying trips to Hawaii, buying a new watch, buying new I think someone bought a new motorcycle by the end of that, right? You bought some cool stuff. Now the fun account is really a lot for two things. Number one is for the saver that has a hard time spending money. Who are my savers? Put saver in the comments below. The person that just saves and saves and saves and saves and never celebrates, right? So it's for that person, but it's also to regulate that spender. Who are my spenders? Put that in the comments below, because sometimes the spenders just keep spending without regards to where the money's coming from. Yes? So what that does is it says, hey, you know what? I'm cool. I can go spend 5% of my revenue every single month on whatever I want. I tell you what, 5% of what I was doing last month, $150,000, that's like $7,500. That's a lot of money to be spending on some really fun stuff. So what happens is it takes that fear away. You know that little feeling you developed growing up, that you kind of got a little bit of a pit in your stomach when you had to spend money, and instead of spending money on that steak or that prime rib or that lamb chop that you wanted to get, you went with the chicken because it was just a little bit cheaper. You know what I'm talking about? This is what takes that away. This is what actually then takes the guilt away when you go buy that new MacBook Pro, right? Because you got $1,000 inside your account, your fun account, you get to spend it on whatever you want. Now all of a sudden you don't feel guilty as a spender when you go buy that, because it was part of the fun account. Cool? Necessities. This is your day-to-day activities. This is what pays your mortgage, your rent, your car payment. Now, these are modest car payments. These are modest mortgages and rents, okay? Now, there's no reason that you should have a 90% of your necessities account covering because you got a big mortgage or you got that brand new vehicle that you can't afford or that you shouldn't be able to afford, and now you're spending all your money on just maintaining this lifestyle that makes it appear that, oh, look at me, I'm doing okay, right? That's going to hurt you. In fact, it's going to hurt you on the 3D world of your finances, but it's going to hurt you even more on the inner world. Notice, inner world, outer world. Inner world, outer world. Put inner world in the comments below. I want you guys to get that. There are the two parts to creating financial freedom and creating life on your terms. The inner world and the outer world. We're going to get into that more here in a second. So your necessities should range anywhere from 45 to 55% or less. If you can get it down to 35%, by all means, get it down to 35%. I know one of my good friends, his business is about $2.5 million a year. He's living off of 20% of his income. 20%! What would your world look like if now you're putting 40% into your financial freedom account and 20% on your necessities? How much more quickly would your freedom grow? And as your freedom grows, how much easier would it be to do those epic things in life that you thought were always for people that had more money than you? Because now it becomes your reality. Is that what you're open to? Put yes in the comments if you're open to that, okay? So necessities are 45 to 50%, 55% or less. This pays for the necessities to live: food, water, shelter. It does not buy lunch at Chipotle. It buys groceries that go in your fridge. It does not buy a bunch of shit you don't need in your fridge. It buys the stuff that allows you to have proper energy and proper nutrients in your body, okay? It allows you to have a roof over your head. It doesn't need to be a mansion. It needs to be a nice place where you can work, but you do deserve awesome shit, right? You do deserve a nice house, but do it within accordance to this little formula right here, and I can promise you this, you'll have more confidence with your finances, okay? And then the final thing is the country donations and the taxes. Now, remember, country donations and taxes come off of the top. So if you make 100 grand and you're paying 40% in taxes, you have 60 grand to divide left into these accounts. Got it? Now, I gave you some really awesome tips in last week's week 7's training on how to reduce your tax bill. One of the ways that you can actually put more money into these accounts is by reducing how much comes off the top, right? Now, imagine that person that's paying 40%, they only get 60 grand. But now imagine that same person that makes 100 grand, they're able to get their tax bill set up such they only have to pay 10%. They get $30,000 more to divide up in these accounts that the person paying 40% does not get. And let's remember, who is the one that's paying more towards taxes? It's going to be the government employee. It's going to be the corporate employee. It's going to be the sole proprietor that is not incorporated, right? That's why I strongly suggest, even if you work for the government or corporation, start your own business. Now you can start having write-offs such as internet, office space, corporate rent. Things start to add up to reduce your tax bill. And the number one rule to be able to do that is get a very aggressive CPA tax consultant. How many of you guys read the book, Tax-Free Wealth, from week 7? Did you have some aha eye-openers from that? Where there's some things that you can start doing to immediately reduce that tax bill so that you can increase ultimately your financial freedom savings account? Put yes in the comments if you're ready to raise this and lower your tax bill. All right, guys, now give me some reactions so I make sure that you're still here with me because we're moving very quickly tonight. I'm going to move into the two parts, okay? The two parts that just really create all financial freedom, okay? Part 1, it's the inner world. What's the word? Inner world. Put this in the comments below. Now, I want you to think about where you are right now. See, where I'm in, and you guys can't see this, right? All you guys see is me. You know, you see the same old cool hat that I wear. You see the board here. But what you can't see off to the side, and I'm going to bring it in just a little bit, is some lights, right? You see, I have lights here. I have 4 different lights, and behind me is some 2x4s from my unfinished basement, okay? This is a backdrop. So this backdrop up above it are the open rafters of my ceiling in the basement, and actually behind, don't laugh guys, but behind is actually a large tube for a sewer line in case we put a bathroom in downstairs, right? And the water line right here. Off to the side is a window. I want you to think about where you are right now, What's around you? Put this in the comments below, okay? It's maybe you're sitting at a desk. I'm looking at a tripod that holds up my iPhone 7 Plus so that I can do this live stream and record this video for the Financial Freedom Nation Jumpstart program, okay? What's around you right now? Let's start putting those in the comments below. Are you at home? What color's the paint on your wall? What pictures are on your wall? What clothes are you wearing right now, okay? That is an example of what's called the physical world, okay? Now this is important because I'm starting, and I know the physical world is outer world, right? It sounds outer world, but I want to get really clear on this point, okay? So the physical world is created by the inner world, and the inner world is made up of your spiritual realm, your emotional realm, and your mental realm, okay? So your mental realm is your mental strength, your ability to persist and move forward, okay? Your spiritual world is your connection with all source energy. Like, I want you to think about this, okay? So I was doing the math the other day. I was born in 1984, and roughly there was about 4.5 billion human beings walking the earth on an estimate, okay? Here we are in 2017 at the time of this recording, okay? And there's an estimated 7.5 billion people on the planet today. So we've had a growth of 3 billion people on the planet, right? And I want you to think about this. Imagine the planet Earth, okay? And I want you to zoom out a little bit with the best of your imagination. And I want you to look down below at this planet, okay? And just imagine 7.5 billion people floating there. Now I want you to turn away from planet Earth, and I want you to look out and I want you to see all the vast amount of stars, all the planets, all the almost, it seems like, abundant nothingness, so to speak. And just so you know, life is empty and meaningless. It only takes the meaning that we put onto it, right? So at the end of the day, the meaning of life is nothing, right? Like, it literally is nothing. What life turns into is the meaning you put onto it. Put yes in the comments below if you get what I'm talking about. So think about this. You are one of 7.5 billion people currently walking the earth at the time this video was made, floating on a rock, floating around a giant ball of burning gas in the middle of this dark atmosphere with stars that are gazillion miles away, okay? Do you think that's by fucking chance? I mean, I can't prove to you any way that it's not. I can't say, dude, God exists, or there's some life after death, or there was life before we're here on earth. I can't prove that to you. But I want you to think about that. And this book that you're going to read in tonight's action items is going to allow you to become more aware on this inner world that I'm talking about, even more aware than you probably currently are. And some of you, if you're even attracted into this course, or if you're even attracted to any of the stuff that I do online, you know what I'm talking about, that there's some sort of energy there. I call it source energy. I call it God, okay? And spiritual realm allows you to connect on a very deep level of what creates everything in the physical world. I want you to imagine this. I want you to imagine, so some of you put where you're at, you know, your office and things like that. I want you to imagine if you could connect directly to the source that creates everything in your existence, from the car you drive, to the house you live in, to the relationships that you develop, to the business that you run, to your financial freedom. Imagine if you could go to that one source that created everything in existence. How excited would you be to have just the connection with that energy? Well, what's really cool is you can do that. And that's the first step in creating everything on this planet. And the last is your emotions, right? The emotions that we talked about in the emotional guidance scale. When we're feeling fear, negative, scarcity, overwhelmment, when we feel that, we're in the resisting zone. We are pushing stuff away that we want to create. When we can get love, abundant joy, passion, excitement, when we get that zest for life, that's what attracts into us whatever we want to create, okay? Now, when you mix all three of these together, your mental realm, your spiritual realm, your emotional realm, that is what creates the physical world, okay? Now, everything that you're seeing around you that you guys listed below in the comments, everything that is real in your life, from the car you drive, the house you live in, the marriage that you're in, or the lack of relationship you're in, the office that you go to every single day, the people you surround yourself, you created that. Yes, you. And the more you can take responsibility for everything good or bad in your life, I don't give a shit if your house burnt down recently. Take responsibility for it, okay? The more responsibility you can take that you've created your outer world, the more you'll be able to develop a stronger inner world that will allow you to create your outer world. So everything you have is first created on the inside. Put yes in the comments if you get what I'm talking about. So that is part one. Now that's important to know, because as we go through the Financial Freedom Accelerated program, as you guys are signing up for that, this is one of the things we are going to work a ton on. Why? Because I am so convinced that this is what creates our reality. I know for a fact that this is everything around us, okay? So we're gonna talk a lot about that Financial Freedom Accelerated, okay? So let's go on to the next part. It's what we call the outer world. It's the car you drive. It's the clothes you wear. It's the people you hang out with. It's everything going on around you, okay? So I want you to think about this, and I don't know if you guys can see this. Right here is a big old blue CZ. So just focus on this, because I know we got a ton of shit on this board, right? I want you to focus on the CZ for a second. That stands for comfort zone. Put comfort zone in the comments below, okay? So our comfort zone is what we're used to, the habits that we've grown up and that we've built, okay? Now, I used to, and I'll give you an example, with my health, I used to blame my parents for teaching me how to be unhealthy. Same thing with finances. My parents taught me how to have just average financial world, yes? But I used it for an excuse for a very long time by saying, you know what, my parents taught me unhealthy eating habits. My parents taught me unhealthy financial habits, right? I blamed it on them, okay? That blame, write the word blame in the comments below. That blame is what my comfort zone is, okay? These are things like anxiety. How many of you have dealt with some anxiety in your life? Put yes in the comments below. Or maybe worry. How many of you worried a little bit in your life? Like, where's the money going to come from? Or how am I going to make it through another month? How am I going to grow my financial freedom? Or maybe how am I going to keep the money I've made? That might be a fear you have, right? Scarcity. There's not enough. I grew up with this, right? Like, hey, there wasn't enough snacks to go around for the neighborhood kids. I couldn't share, right? I see anxiety pop up there. Anxiety is something I've dealt with a lot my entire life. And I can tell you this, I think it was Melanie that posted that. Yeah, I tell you what, when you can develop a strong inner world, you can crush anxiety forever. And it's the best part about it is accepting, hey, I've got a part of me has anxiety, right? When you can embrace that, when you can embrace that anxiety, it will actually disappear. You'll be okay with it. It's amazing how it works, okay? How about, have you ever been irritated with someone? Or maybe a little frustrated with your results or with your business? Or with, how many's been frustrated with their financial world in the past? Put yes in the comments below, okay? Maybe OW stands for overwhelmed. How many of you have been overwhelmed during this process the last 8 weeks a little bit? Yeah, it's because we've been pushing your comfort zone. Put yes in the comments if you can resonate with that. Now, how maybe you just feel a little insecure with your finances, or you feel a little angry at your parents for teaching you bad habits, or you might even, worse, you feel angry towards rich people for them having the money and you not getting the money, right? So the list goes on, maybe a little discouraged, like you can never get ahead or you could never get ahead with your finances. I see a bunch of yeses coming up, so that's awesome. So this is what your current comfort zone is, okay? I want you to write this down in your notes. Your comfort zone equals your money zone, right? So if you want to expand your money zone, guess what we have to do? We've got to expand our money zone, okay? And here's what's really cool. So this black line represents our money zone. Our success or the financial freedom that we want or the financial growth that we want, guess what? It's just right here. It's just right outside of our comfort zone, right? It's just right here. Just right here. And so here's that wall I was talking about, right? I was talking about that wall earlier in today's training, that we hit this barrier right here, right? It's almost as we go out like this, and we hit this barrier right here, okay? How many are you with me? Put yes in the comments if you're with me, okay? So we hit this barrier right here, and that's when we have the choice to make. We can either move forward into what I call the freedom zone, okay? Or we can take a step back into our comfort zone. We can back up just a little bit. You might have experienced it with your health before. You might have experienced it with your finances before. I guarantee you've experienced it with your finances, or you wouldn't be in this course, right? And I used to hit that wall all the time, and I'd get overwhelmed, and I'd get frustrated, and I'd get anxiety, and I'd worry, and I'd be afraid, and all of a sudden, I'd go back to that comfort zone. Okay? I'd go back to that comfort zone that protected me. And yet I was full of all of these negative energies, but I felt comfortable there. okay? Because it was uncomfortable to be eager. It was uncomfortable to have a self-belief in myself. It was uncomfortable to take action. Yes? How many of you feel a little uncomfortable with action, right? We got some put up here with weight gain and loss, right? Because you go back to your comfort zone. You go to these energies and emotions. In fact, at the end of a stressful day, you were more apt to go to those comfort foods. You know, the chocolate, or maybe for me it was chocolate chip pancakes with homemade jam, right? Like I'd have a stressful day, and so that food resonated with me, and guess what? Chocolate chip pancakes with butter and jam does not help me lose weight and be healthy. It tastes damn good, but it only tastes good because it satisfies that comfort zone, right? It was uncomfortable to be positive when I knew shit was blowing up in my life. It was uncomfortable to be confident in my finances when I didn't know what I was doing. True or true, if you get what I'm talking about. It was uncomfortable to be passionate about what you do in life. I want you to think about this, okay? I want you to get really, really clear with yourself on this. You're gonna fucking die one day. Your life, I want you to put your hand right here. That heart is going to stop beating in your chest. The oxygen going in your lungs will cease to continue to go in your lungs. And you're going to be dead, okay? I want you to think about that for a second. Are you willing to let your entire existence floating on a rock in the middle of space around this burning ball of gas, are you willing to let it stay in this comfort zone your entire life? I mean, be honest with yourself. Or do you want to get some security? Do you want to feel more love? Do you want to feel more certainty? Do you want to get free of this shit in your life, right? Well, it starts with taking massive action, because when you hit this barrier, you've got two choices. Retreat or move fucking forward, all balls to the wall, like this is my one chance on earth, I'm going to make it happen. You must decide, and you must commit, and you must resolve that it is already your reality and your destiny, and you must take the action to get what is yours in this existence. And you get what is yours by giving on a big scale. Okay? So put questions below if you have any questions on this, because our outer world expands when we can leave our comfort zone and we go to our uncomfort zone. Okay? Our three-dimension existence literally will transmutate the moment that we can break by that barrier. Now, this is important to understand. As we grow that barrier, as we grow that comfort zone to our new way of living, our new possibilities, well, we have to keep pushing that comfort zone. We can never stop. The moment we stop, you start to shrink into the comfort zone, because the comfort zone gets bigger and bigger. So that means you've got to keep pushing into the uncomfort zone forever. Okay? And I'll tell you what, it's a wild ride. It's an amazing, epic life. And I'll tell you what, you will never feel more alive than blowing into that comfort zone. And if you want to just test this theory, go jump out of an airplane tomorrow. Go through the whole process of skydiving. Now, I don't do it on the regular basis, but I've done it before. And that is one of very few times that I felt the most alive. And it was actually this fear and anxiety. The worst part was riding up to do it, to get out of the plane, you know, in this rickety old plane that I don't even know if it's going to make it. It's the middle of July and I'm freezing cold. And boom, they pull up that door and we start tumbling out. I have never felt so alive in my entire life. Now I choose to live that way every single day. It's not that I don't ever fall into the comfort zone. It's not that I don't ever fear the overwhelmment or the irritation. In fact, I'll be honest. I've got 2 more days of producing with my business before I take off for the next 8 days. That always causes me a little bit of anxiety and a little bit of overwhelmment, because I'm a producer. I got a lot to create and get done. Okay, so I want to congratulate Lisa. She did her first Facebook Live today. That is a little overwhelming and a little fearful. True or true? I mean, for me, it seems pretty normal because I do so many of them. But I remember my first couple ones, I was so afraid of it, right? That's what I'm talking about. But I'm specifically talking about this with your financial world, right? Your comfort zone is managing or lack of managing your money how you had been doing it before this course. Right? And even if you're watching this and you haven't got your jars or your accounts set up yet, or worse, you're not depositing into the accounts, well, that's getting into your freedom zone. That's doing something a little bit differently that will give you certainty. It's taking action. It creates hope. It creates joy. How empowered do you feel knowing that you've got an education account set up? How empowered do you feel knowing that now you've got a percentage, even if it's 1% or 15%, going towards your financial freedom? Doesn't that feel just a little bit better, having a system to follow in the first place and taking the steps to put money into it? So that's part 2. It's focusing on the techniques that create your outer world. And there are certain techniques to go from the comfort zone into the, to the uncomfort zone, to the freedom zone. And this is where NLP comes into play. Now, neuro-linguistic programming is not something I can do to you or you can do to someone else. You can't go NLP someone. But NLP is the study of your linguistics. It's the study of how information processes into you. And the question is how do you break that barrier? That's what we're going to talk a lot about inside of the Financial Freedom Accelerator program. We're going to teach you techniques that you can use in 3D world that can blow you way out of your comfort zone and get so uncomfortable that you won't even recognize yourself. In fact, it's so funny. When I was unhealthy, no one mentioned anything to me that said, hey, dude, you're getting overweight. Dude, your man boobs are getting a little carried away. Dude, you need to get your shit together on stop eating those chocolate chip pancakes. No one ever said that to me because it was comfortable. Everyone's fucking fat, right? Everyone's overweight. Everyone's unhealthy. And by everyone, I mean literally in the United States, 65% of Americans are overweight or unhealthy, okay? And I don't say this to put people down. I say this to bring it to reality, right? But when I started losing weight, now that I'm down 40 pounds, you know what I hear from everyone? Wow, dude, are you sure you're healthy, man? Are you eating enough food? You've lost a lot of weight, dude. Are you sure you shouldn't be putting a little bit more calories into you? Right? The reality is people are going to try to bring you down like crabs in a bucket. It's just reality. So all of a sudden now, when your financial growth starts exploding, there are going to be people, in fact, you may have already noticed it, there are going to be people that have to leave your life. There are going to be, it acts like a vacuum though. When one person leaves your life, it's the world, the existence, universe is going to suck a new person into you, right? So it makes space for something new, for something better. So as you blow through to the freedom zone, well, it's making space for new opportunity. Yep, the naysayers and the negative people. So there's part 2. Put questions in the comments below if you have any. Let's go ahead and talk about what our action items are for the week. How many of you guys are excited for your action items? Put yes in the comments. Well, it's no surprise that some of these are pretty simple. In fact, I really only am going to give you one new activity or action item this week. It's because I want you to get really clear on this inner world journey that you're going through, that's creating your outer world existence, okay? And this might even sound a little hocus pocus like, it might even sound a little weird, the fact that I'm talking so much about the inner world. So going forward in the Accelerated program, I'm going to be talking a lot about the inner world and the outer world. The inner world is the inner works of our mind, our spirit, and our emotions. The outer world is how do we lower our tax bill? How do we manage our cash flow? How do we grow our online business? How do we create passive and residual income? I love to see the excitement. Give me some thumbs up if you're excited to move forward to the next step. So, action items. Watch this video twice this week, okay? Take some notes on it. So watch it twice this week. Number 2 is share your ahas and your victories. Now, I've been asking you to share your ahas and your victories in the Facebook group. I want you to start sharing your ahas and your victories, and I want to give kudos to Lisa. I know she shared it. Share your ahas and victories on your Facebook page. In fact, that will help grow your Facebook following. If you're wondering, well, Colton, why do I need to grow my Facebook following? Well, the new currency is attention today. If you can create attention on you, you can become even more so financially free. And a way to do that is to share your victories. Cool? Put yes in the comments if you're down for that. I love the 2X down below. Thanks, Melanie. Recommit. So I want you to, even if you're solid on your accounts, I want you to go revisit every one of your accounts when you do your weekly review this week, and I want you to say, how can I level up just a little bit? How can I add another 1 or 2% to my financial freedom account? How can I add another 1% to my fun account so I hit 4% instead of 3%? How can I reduce my necessities just a little bit? How can I go from 55 to 50%? How can I give just a little bit more? And I can promise you this, from my own experience, right? The number 1 account that's going to get looked over the most is going to be that give account. True or true, right? How can you go increase that give account right away? Because the principle is the more you give, the more you receive. It's the law of reciprocity. It's just how God works. It's how universe works. It's how source energy, the person, the dude, the individual, the entity, whatever you want to call it, I can't even put into words, the thing, the entity that created everything that is, right? That's how it works. The more you give, you more receive. So don't skimp on that account. So go recommit to all of your accounts. And how can you level up just a little bit? And one way might even be in your country donations account, your tax account, by just taking some money and investing in a top-notch CPA. I mean, I spend $6 to $7 grand per year just with my account. Some of y'all might be, well, holy shit, that's a lot of money. Or you might be saying, well, Cole, you got more money than me. I don't need to do that. Nah, that's the wrong thinking, dude. I started spending and buying my way to learning with that account long before I was making 150 grand a month. See what I'm saying? So take the action and recommit. Where do you need to recommit? And when you do that weekly review, you're going to be able to always find a new place you can recommit. And not only your financial world, but your entire world, your entire life, your entire existence. And we're going to talk a lot about that Financial Freedom Nation. In fact, I might just change the whole freaking course name to Freedom Nation, because that's what this is really about. This is about creating life on your terms, so that when you get to the end of your time here in this mortal existence, you look back and you say, dude, I lived an epic life. I did everything I could. I did not stay in the comfort zone, but I went to the freedom zone. Get what I'm saying? Put yes in the comments below if that's you. Now, this is the main one I want you to get from here this week, okay? It's a book. Now, I'm going to recommend that you read the book, or read the book along with listening to the audio. You will get a great message if you just listen to the audio. You will get way more if you listen to the audio while reading it. Okay. Now, why is that? Because the way our linguistics work, when we read with our eyes and we communicate to ourselves, plus we're having an audio put inside of us, we will gain more knowledge, more information, more understanding. But here's the key word: more awareness. Put awareness in the comments below, because that's what I want you to get from this book. It's called The Untethered Soul. Literally, when I picked this book up the first time, I devoured it in 2 days, and I read it again the next 3 days. In fact, I'm reading it again right now for the 4th time, because it is so empowering. And remember that little voice we talked about? And if you're saying, what little voice are you talking about again? That's the little voice I'm talking about. You know, the little guy up here, the angel over here, and the devil over here, the dudes that are always keeping you from getting into action because you're having this fucking debate in your head about what you're going to do, or what's the right way, or what's the wrong way, or you know what, Colton, don't do that, you might make a mistake, or you know what, hey, Melanie, don't do that. You know that's going to actually hurt you a little bit. Or, hey, you know what are your friends going to think? Or, you know what, my mom told me not to. You know that conversation you're having, and then all of a sudden you start to overcome it with this angel over here saying, hey, I got to be positive. You know what? If I be positive, if I be optimistic, I'm gonna beat out this negative energy over here, and I'm gonna be able to grow, because positivity, positive mental attitude. And I know I talk about PMA all the time, but this conversation is what is really holding you back from living life on your terms. You and this conversation that's not really you are two different things, right? I want you to think about the awareness of that voice. There's something in deeper to your entity, to your existence, to your whole experience, okay? And that's what I want you to tap into. So read this book, The Untethered Soul. So yeah, never thought of doing both, but that's what's happening, is both of those voices are not your voices. Pay attention to that. Cool? Yeah, you can't do that. That's a bunch of crap. You can do whatever the freak you want. So here's the deal here, guys. So Financial Freedom Accelerated, several of you guys already on this live stream have already signed up, taken action. Congratulations. Give some thumbs up if that's you. So here's what Financial Freedom Accelerated is all about. This is the opportunity. If you don't want to hear about the opportunity, you guys can end the stream now. If you do want to hear about the opportunity, go ahead and stay tuned, watch this, and you're going to be completely crazy if you don't take advantage of this, because I set things up so simple for people to succeed, because I want that. That's part of me giving my gifts. Cool? Put yes in the comments if you get what I'm talking about. So exclusive Facebook group. So what's happening right now is this Facebook group, everyone that's in the Jumpstart program, as we went through the beta program, has been into this Facebook group. But what's going to happen after July 25th is all those people that are not still in the Accelerate program are actually going to be removed from this Facebook group and put into a free Financial Freedom Nation group. It's already been started, and my social media director, Darcy, so you might see her popping up in and out, she's already making those changes, okay? So that's already starting to happen. So you might appear, if you haven't already, into the free group. Okay, so you're going to have the exclusive Facebook group where we're going to have major conversation around the inner and outer world of creating financial freedom and creating life on your terms. Okay. Number 2 is we're going to have twice a month group coaching calls. This is going to be different than the live streams, okay? We're going to actually get on the phone twice per month, and we're going to have anywhere from a 45 to a 90-minute meeting conversation where we're going to be doing a couple of things. Number 1 is we're going to be sharing some massive victories and some success, because you must have a place to share your wins with other people without the naysayers bringing you down, okay? Part 2 is we're going to have some hot seats. Now, if you're not familiar with what a hot seat is we're going to be bringing one person per week on for 10 to 15 minutes, and we're going to be doing a little bit of a mastermind around how we can help this person blow through and where they're stuck. So that's part 2. Number 3 is I'm going to be training you on neuro-linguistic programming, and I don't want you to get stuck in this idea of NLP. I'm going to be training you on techniques that you can use to be able to blast out of the comfort zone into the freedom zone. Okay? I'm also going to be training you inside of these coaching calls on little ways that you can put into practice right away in reducing your tax bill, on increasing your passive income, increasing your residual income, and how to stay accountable to the financial freedom system. Okay? Also, I'm going to be bringing on special guests, people that are experts in their field, people that are CPAs, attorneys, specialists in creating revenue. I'm going to bring them into these coaching sessions every once in a while so that we can learn from a little bit different angle. And some of my friends, some of my colleagues that I've met over the years of my financial growth and my business growth, they actually have been helping me to grow on a large scale. They're going to be contributing along the way as well. And they're going to also be offering services and opportunities. You don't have to take advantage of them, but you can. And just know that I put them in front of you because they are exact things that have helped me grow. Okay? So you're going to get twice a month group coaching calls. You're going to get twice a month Facebook live trainings. Have you guys liked the live trainings? Put yes in the comments below if that's you. Now these Facebook live trainings are where I'm going to teach you even further in this type of format on how you can grow on the inner world and the outer world. Remember that I told you it's 2 parts to growing your financial freedom. Your inner world and your outer world. One cannot grow without the other. Your outer world cannot grow without your inner world. And your inner world cannot develop without seeing outer world results. That's just how it works, okay? You're going to also have VIP membership access. And what that's going to do is give you recorded calls to every group call and every live stream you're going to have access to, because guess what? I'm going to still recommend that you watch it 2 and 3 times per week, okay? And I will give you a free gift. I am working on creating the book right now for Financial Freedom Nation. So yes, anyone that signs up and gets in the coaching program, that's in the coaching program, I will give you a free copy of that book. Yes, thank you for bringing that up. So VIP membership access. Now that's going to give you all the recorded calls as we go forward. And also we're going to do what's called financial freedom points. You're going to get bonuses and you're going to qualify to become an affiliate, so that one of the things that's really cool is I'm so committed to helping you guys become financially free. Once you get to a certain point, you've earned the points, we're going to actually have some of you, as you qualify, go into this affiliate program where I'm going to teach you and coach you and train you on how to market the Financial Freedom Nation so that you can actually start creating passive income online. Now remember the difference between passive and residual income. Passive income is where you invest some time or some money into it and you get paid. That goose lays that golden egg over and over again every single week, every single day, every single month. Residual income is where it requires some maintenance, some management, so to speak, right? That's like an insurance business. It's like an online business. Like this business that I've created, Financial Freedom Nation, this course, this training, that's a residual type business. I still have to manage it. I still have to show up on the coaching calls. I still have to deliver massive value on the trainings every other week, right? I still have to do things and answer questions for you. But it's going to be passive for you guys, because once you can sell the product, and it's really not even, it doesn't take that much to sell it. People will naturally want to sign up because no one's financially figured shit out, just how it is. Now what's happened is you're going to get 50% of the revenue. At the time of this recording, you're going to get 50% of the revenue when someone joins the Jumpstart program. Whether we sell it for $97 or $497, you guys will be apprised of where the dollar amount is on that. But you're also going to get something that no other coach, trainer, or program is doing out there as far as I am knowledgeably aware. And just so you know, I've spent well over $100,000 on coaching and training and learning from the best on the planet today. But what we're going to actually create, part of the affiliate program, is when people join the accelerated program, you're going to get a percentage of that as well, okay? Now currently that percentage is going to be 20%. So you're going to get 20% every single month. So let's say that it's only $20 a month, but you've got 5 people that you've actually helped get into the program. Well, guess what? Your membership's paid for, right? You don't even have to pay for your membership. Now all of a sudden, and we did this with our Real Estate Hustlers program as well, we actually have people that have their Real Estate Hustlers Mastermind fee completely paid for, plus they're making residual income now. They are passive income. They don't have to do anything to maintain it or manage it, and now that money comes in every single month. How would you like to create that in your life? Put yes in the comments below if that's you. So here's the reality. I charge $1,000 an hour to coach with me one-on-one. What you get with that is 4 15-minute phone calls every single month. In fact, I'm really tired of that model, so I'm getting rid of all of my coaching clients. And unless someone wants to coach with me, if someone really wants one-on-one, I'm gonna charge them more, okay? So the monthly investment for this is $97 a month, but because you guys are all into this Jumpstart program, everyone gets the first month for only $1, right? So this is gonna start on July 15th of 2017. So if you're watching the recording, we're already rocking and rolling on this more than likely, okay? So anyone that joins and gets in this, you can get on that first month for $1. After that, it goes for $97 a month. Cancel anytime you want, but I can promise you this, it's gonna grow your financial freedom 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x, 10x. And I know a lot of you have already got in on this. So we got one person that says, I'm in on passive, I'm out on residual. So that's so cool. One of the things that we're gonna be able to do is help you create that passive income right here through this platform. It's gonna be one of several ways that I'm gonna train you and help you and coach you in growing passive income. I will just voice though, if you wanna create freedom more quickly, residual income will help you get there quickly as you're growing your passive income, because it does take a little bit longer to grow passive income, but the quickest way to grow passive income is definitely through affiliate programs. I can promise you that, because that's how I got free, was through affiliate programs with other companies, okay? The only problem is that I wish that happened. I wish that I got it ongoing. I only got it on a one-time sell once I did that affiliate thing, and it still created over and over again because my sales kept coming in. But I'm gonna actually help you so you get that every single month from the one sell. Cool? Now, I appreciate you guys going through the Jumpstart program with me. It's been awesome to be a part of this together with you. So Namaste, that means the God in me sees the God in you, and I respect you for where you are with your own journey, and I get that you've got your own challenges, your own things that you're trying to figure out, and know that I'm here to support you, and that my gifts will be continually given to you as long as you participate and you grow and you're part of the Financial Freedom Nation. Also, I will continue to produce massive value for you guys out there in the social media world. So if you want to take advantage of this, the Financial Freedom Accelerate program, get a hold of me, or inside of your membership site, there's a link in there for you to sign up. Or if you're in this live in the Facebook group, you can actually click the link inside of the description. Go get signed up. It's only $1 for that first month. I highly recommend it. We've already had a bunch of people take advantage of this. I will have a limit of time until we will change this, so make sure to go get signed up if you haven't already. Thanks for following up with me. Ask questions in the Facebook group, and we'll see you here soon.